What's up, everyone? We're back with more Great Ace Attorney. Let's hit it. If Kazuma-sama were here... What are you trying to say? I think you would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Their statements about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. You're not wrong. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate. Oh, right. But simply, we must focus on finding the discrepancy in these statements somewhere. Blah blah blah. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion. Oh, why do I always seem to be up against it? So up against it. Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something? Well, this is unexpected. Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it. What? No. Oh, no, it's really not that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. Oh, really? And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is? That will do, Miss Pete. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will. I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down. I swear, she's like a marionette with her husband. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Bede. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? I'm surprised she didn't pull on him. I could even tell you the names of 4 books he dropped at the scene. Yeah, let's press this. It's a new statement. I'm surprised. That's certainly a unique way of getting a new statement. She kind of just gave it to us on her own. We didn't probe her for it. She just says, I'm going to give you this statement, and whether you like it or not. Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of... Wait a second. No. No, shut up, Van Zykes, I don't care. Zykes, Zeeks, whatever. Hold it. I could even tell you the names of the 4 books. 4. Wrong button. Sorry, I'm panicking. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Listen. There are not 4 of them. There are 3. Which 4th are you talking about? Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question. After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided I'd have a good look over the area for good measure. I am a proud policewoman's wife, after all. I did it for Rolly. And what was your husband doing at the time? Oh, he was catching some Z's, you know. You know how it is. Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard, don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. We're sure that he isn't the victim here. I mean, he was also apparently face down or whatever. Well, Miss Bede, seeing as you've regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene? I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other, and what's it yearnings? Then there was, a meal for someone, and the last one is definitely the thingamy's something. Wow. You nailed it. Let me check. Let me check the titles we got here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yep. You nailed it. You nailed the titles completely. Though you actually didn't do too bad, jokes aside. What's it urinates? We got that. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other. So we have that. Picture of Monsieur Lecure. Or whatever. I don't know. A meal for blah. Okay, so the last one is the one we don't have. You see? Yes, I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory. Oh well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling? Well, bro! Holy... Bro, you just took out a gun in court. I know you're a police officer, but chill it. Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have me to answer to. Yeah, put the gun down and go back to sleep. Jesus. Terrifying. Yeah, I know, right? Yes, she really is. Oh, you're talking about her. Yeah, she is too. So that's it. It's our entire testimony. Blah 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 blah. Okay, just give it back. Give me back.
Objection.
Be gone. So, you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right. I remember all of them. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But that was not the right correct answer. I'm sorry, you have lost the game. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no, what flaw? Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4. What? This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books. Your books? Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books. Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there were only 3 books. But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear it, I saw them. No, madam, I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. Yeah. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken. Oh no, 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 no!
Objection!
Oh, what? You're gonna slam your foot? You're gonna do the foot slam? What, do you think is so cool? Oh, here we go. What, are you gonna do it? It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. What? Let me guess, there was a 4th book. This is gonna be like your version of the autopsy report where you just give us updated evidence. What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. Ah! So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Wait a second. No, I'm gonna save that thought. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. Your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony, in every respect. Oh! You see, the matter is not up for debate. As at the scene in on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It's outdated. It only shows 3 books. What, is the other book in front of her? Quite right, only 3 can be seen in that print. The print? You mean to say... Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand. So I see you kept this under your sleeve. I don't believe it. The Lion's Pride. It's the 4th book. Wait. Hold up. How far back can I go? Oh, those clever bastards. Oh wait, never mind, it's right here. The Thingamy's something, aka the Lion's Pride. It's burnt. Oh my god. I was about to say, when I was thinking before and I said I'd hold it till later, I was gonna say that if there's an extra unaccounted for book, and so during the investigation there was a part that Sholmes said, oh yes, Mr. Naruhodo, this probably has no relevance to the case. I didn't say it would. But I think it does. Because, I mean, we saw that Mr. Garridub, he had that lion statue and whatnot, and then he said that I think he said he lost one of his favorite books or something. And clearly, as we can see here, this book is singed. Well, more than a bit singed. It has an entire corner taken out of it from fire. And we know that there was a fire in their place. Piece it together, what do you get? As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No! Order. There, you see, look at that, look. Yes. It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir, Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. The titles once again, if you please. The picture of Monsieur Lecour. What's it, yearnings? Canterbury yearnings. A meal for someone. A meal for Gaborio, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Miss Beat's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional. Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt. And Miss Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographic print. Oh, I'm sorry, Counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. So what, you're gonna claim that the book was the victim's? In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book? I wonder what became of that 4th book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence.
Oh good, submit it, quick.
You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord.
Okay. Alright, I am instantly checking that.
The prosecution rests.
Yeah, you rest for a second while I check this evidence so I can send you to the Shadow Realm, bucko. Look at it. Burnt to a crisp. Okay, I guess we just read the title, maybe? Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride. I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all. So it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard of a book by that name before, and very recently, too. It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo. So, Garadib did mention it by name. And the obvious thing here. Oh, look at this! The book has been badly burned. You're right. You'll never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. Huh. A book, recently damaged by fire. Why does this seem to raise a red flag with me? Big shock there. Okay, so this is not anything big. This is just whatever. Meow. One sec. Sorry, the cat's back on his usual agenda of wanting in and out of my room constantly.
I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we said is true.
Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat, marry me, Pat. Aren't you already married?
So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their position should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty. Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we are in a terribly precarious situation. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Rinosuke, think! Think, Mark! Think! Nah. I got someone.
Objection!
I'm not done yet.
No, my learned friend. It's over. That the last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense. And you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Van Zykes. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Oh?
Huh. Your insignificant little eastern island must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh. Don't worry. Speak your mind, girl. You're smarter than Ryunosuke probably is. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. What a lad. what a lad.
One of this land's greatest guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you, madam.
Go ahead, Miss Susato, please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see it fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Miss Susato.
This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence.
Bada bing, bada scoop, bada doo.
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must prove the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right.
So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals?
Ski-ba-dap, scuba-da, bee-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Got it!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? Why do you... Good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Saw that coming.
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh, were I to concede the point, it bears no relation to the case. There is nothing to discuss.
Oh, that's what you think.
So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, sure, certainly, but worth a try. I can't wait to rope a certain juror into this trial. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting on any longer then, counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting you can ascertain from the fire damage the Saritome suffered?
I'm gonna try to do some funny stuff here. I haven't done any meme options in a while. It's content. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's contents.
What on earth do you mean?
To have enraged its reader to the point of burning it, we can be quite sure that this book is a dreadful read.
Indeed. Yes, it must have been quite a one-star book.
That's right, a dreadful read.
A valid conclusion.
Oh good, everyone seems to agree. Maybe I'm onto something here. If I may, Mr. Naruhodo, I most certainly cannot agree. No, you're right. That was pretty funny. Just everyone agreeing like, yeah, this book seems like it's kind of trash, not gonna lie. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the shop from which it was purchased.
What on earth do you mean?
To have sold a half-burnt and unreadable book such as this, we can be quite sure that it was from Bourbon Books, because the old man said that it wasn't a good store. But the establishment it came from is a terrible bookshop.
Indeed.
That's right, a terrible one.
A valid conclusion.
Okay, funny stuff out of the way. Alright, time for the real answer. It's the owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon.
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious, how can you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see his reaction to this. Because we looked into something totally unrelated to the main case, supposedly.
But do remember the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
Oh, I can tell you that one of the jurors is gonna burn us either way.
Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
Well, clearly, it's you. Obviously, it's one of these two. I like how we don't even know the age of the victim. I wonder what would happen if we presented her instead of him. John Garadub. Someone that no one here knows. The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadub.
The landlords!
I told you he'd be taken aback. Not even this man expected that shit. And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence, or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but... Of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Miss Garadub herself.
Oh my goodness, me? I think I must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadub's wife, I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadub's house?
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
Oh really? Considering you apparently threw one.
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's house.
Good lord! What sort of incident, Counsel?
A spouse? A fire, my lord. Bum 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 do 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 do.
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Most of it is I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
Bada bing, bada boom. Look at this man, he's so fucking pissed off. Ooh. Get wrecked. You are such freaking mess. Hey, yo, 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 yo.
Lion's Pride. By Jove, the very same title that's the subject of this debate.
You know, it's really funny. We went up there because of Sholmes. Like, Zykes probably never thought to even check with the landlords for stuff. He was probably totally focused on the crime scene and only the defendants. Like, he probably didn't even think about the landlords in the slightest. But Sholmes, being the eccentric mother hecker that he is, just went up there and said, "Ah yes, I'm going to deduce stuff because that is what I do as Herlock Sholmes."
Who do you mean?
Objection!
This is risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes.
Oh no, it wasn't.
And entirely it would be unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime.
Oh, he is going to lose it when he figures out the truth. Because he keeps trying to set up walls and we just keep breaking them down one at a time. You are becoming less credible by the minute, sir. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Miss Garrett was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrett even amid the flames. Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly? Absolutely not, sir. Sir, my Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold over them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
Like a book that was on fire?
There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book is thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
Oh.
No. A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there was no report of the Garrett's window pane being broken.
Who's to say it was broken? That's quite true. We saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrett household. But it is not conceivable that the window... But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and...
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it.
Bruh, there was a fire inside. What, are you not gonna open the window, you dumbass? No. I don't care if you're supposed to be the smart prosecutor. That's stupid. You're stupid.
No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
Ryunosuke, don't buy into this. You have a goddamn fire in your house. What, would you rather burn to death or get a bit chilly, huh?
Does the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrett's wife?
Oh, of course we do. I believe it's a possibility, my lord. Dab on him, dab on him, dab to dab. That's quite enough. What? Oh, had a feeling.
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for who you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
Really?
Blaming little Tiff set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly, implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this piece of case, none of it, not any of it. All you've done is sully your family name.
No, I assure you that was never my intention. Also, your voice changer is starting to stop working.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense.
Did you just slap? Did she just attempt to slap juror number 5?
Oh, I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Too right. Too right. Here we go.
How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare that you're right. It's true.
Yes, what did I tell you? Makes sense to me.
Sorry, what's that?
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement.
Oh, not again.
What is your position, Lord Van Zykes? In truth, my lord, I feel that these may have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings, but then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
Yamero! The mystery of the 4th book still hasn't been... And there's the boot.
If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
You know, you should, like, counter his boot step with, like, unsheathing that sword and just, like, swishing it in the air or something. I don't know, maybe, like, cut down that lamp to your left or something. Like, that'd be a cool animation. Just have him draw the sword and just, like, cut the air or something. What? No forgive the... What? No forgive the discourtesy this time?
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
You say, guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
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 Guilty!
Guilty.
Again. Say no. Man, we're doing a second one?
Thank you for that unambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over. I mean, who's to say we can't do it again? Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up. Mr. Sato? Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting. Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord, the defense asked to exercise its right to a summation examination.
Huh. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. Well, somehow I doubt we're gonna be... Actually, maybe we will be swaying the maid. I mean, we didn't sway her during the first summation, so this would be a good time to do it. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. To be continued, to be continued, to be continued, to be continued. I can't sing along fast enough, but I can sing to this. I will save here. We're only at 40 minutes though, so I think we can go a little bit more. What do we got? I'd like to see what the testimony at least, and then we'll do like the actual examination next time.
I have considered the defense counsel's request for a further examination of the jury, and I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure.
Get owned, Zykes. Dude just got angry because we thought of something that he never considered.
He's just like, impossible, I can't be outdone by this Nipponese. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very good, in that case, I must now answer to video to clear the state for the court. As would you find it ready to get with your crime?
Alright. Judicial findings. The juror's contentions. Part 2.
The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window is closed, can it?
Dear me, it was only a little book. Hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tidy bit of trouble.
Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes. Well then, certainly gonna have to dig more for this one. I don't see any obvious ones.
Yes. Considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course.
I assume you're referring to the old man.
My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene.
Yeah, can you shut up? It's my turn to talk. You're not allowed to talk during this. Better get all your fancy words out before it's our turn to shine.
And moreover...
Oh hey, you broke yet another glass. How much do those even cost you to break? They are yours, I assume, right? Like, you're just... all this does is just cost you more money.
No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
That means, I'm afraid, that during the summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts. But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here?
Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman, and how? Those 2 details are all you need provide.
Why are you helping me all of a sudden? Are you giving me pointers because I thought of something you didn't, so now you have some type of respect for me?
You'll get no sympathy from me. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
Here I was thinking this might be hard. Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise this really will be where the trial ends.
No pressure then. That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you are prepared, counsel?
Oh, yes, my lord. Alright, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now. The double slap.
Slap them cheeks.
Clearly the key to the summation examination. It's going to be juror number 4, the maid, or should I say Miss Garrett? We have a book that disappeared from the Garrett's house on the evening of the incident, and the 4th book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes. Don't forget to keep an eye on Miss Garrett and how she reacts, even to the things other people say. Ooh, are we gonna do the thing where like people talk and then we see how, and then you see how people react? That's a cool concept, and we haven't seen it yet this case, so I'd be down for it. Oh, cool! You can see the witnesses in the back. The defense's rebuttal. The defense's rebuttal. We'll start this up next time. Funny how we started on a we started on a summation examination and then we ended on a summation examination. Funny how that works, huh? Oh, I guess that was. Oh wait, no, that was last episode, not this episode. You get the point. Anyways, yeah. Next time on Great Ace Attorney, we'll whittle down the testimonies of the witnesses. Not the witnesses, the jurors. Sorry. It's hard coming up with unique wordplay when I'm trying to make an outro here. Sorry, very scuffed. Anyways, adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja matane.